Hello everyone, this is Gregor. Welcome to the stream. Today a bit like under the weather, and also this game was a bit of a challenge to get working properly. We'll be doing the last French game for the Around the World thing. There we go. Should be in chat. Um, Little Big Adventure 2 or Twinsen's Odyssey, depending on your region. So this was back in the day where publishers and developers were kind of like a bit separate overall. This was made by a subsidiary of Delphine Software, which you might remember from last year's Flashback. They did the original Flashback. I think they also did like Another World, or is that like the same game? I don't remember. Like it was kind of like weird. Like games had like their own like titles in like different regions. I think like Another World and Flashback is like no wait, Another World and Out of This World is like the same game. Flashback is like a different thing, but I think they're done by the same studio. They also did like MotoGP and stuff. And in 1990 something, 1993, 1994, I don't remember. They formed a subsidiary called Adeline Software. Which was partially made by people that left Infogrames, if memory serves, which was yet another different studio in France, which you may know them from the Alone in the Dark games, like the first Alone in the Dark games. But yeah, Adeline Software made Little Big Adventure, Little Big Adventure 2. They did some ports for the Game Boy, but there's like not a lot of other things as far as I remember. And you can probably see why. So this was actually published as Little Big Adventure 2 in Europe by EA, and then it was also published by Activision in the US as Twinsen's Odyssey. Which again, because it was back in the day where you could actually use like multiple different publishers, like the developers weren't tied to a single publisher, and each publisher kind of like had like their own regions and kind of their own little networks that they kind of like tapped into to market your game and release your game and hype your game as well. So yeah, we are doing this. It was actually a bit of a pain to get this working on the stream because the Steam version sadly only works through DOSBox, which I mean makes sense. Let me just, there we go. Yes, Electronic Arts. We're playing the EU version. So yeah, Adeline Software, they went bankrupt very, very early in their life cycle. So I did start this a bit, and
could you help me treat my injured dino fly? Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
I started this to like try and like calibrate things. It's a weird game. This is like early like polygonal 3D. It doesn't really look bad when like all is said and done. Like the kind of like not very like well textured style that they chose for the in-game graphics is something that still looks decently
Hello,
okay.
I'm Twinsen, the hero of this adventure.
Let's get
Can
this.
you see me up in the box up there with my girlfriend Zoe? That's my trusty friend Dino Fly on the right, and that's a portrait
of the green
our
little thing there.
Goddess who breathes life
That's like the white
everything.
thing next to it.
Thanks to the medallion and the magical power she gave me, I was able to save our beautiful planet Twinsen.
So yeah, the guy's name is Twinsen with an E,
all the islands to save Zoe
and the planet's name is Twinsun with a U. And that's definitely not gonna be confusing going forward. Nah, I don't think.
The terrible dictator Funfrock had the entire planet in his grip until I came along.
Also, yeah, the bad guy from the first game is called Funfrock. I mean, this is like a French game. Let's just like go with it. Like,
Zoe and I are expecting good news.
this is like a,
We'll soon be hearing the pitter-pat of tiny feet.
there's like
Hurry up and get everything ready.
a similar mind to like the one that made like Rayman.
Our world lives in peace nowadays. Everything's calm, and we all have our place in the sun.
But doom doom doom. Also, yeah, you saw this a lot back then. Like, these like pre-rendered cutscenes that like were like a bit too grand for like their technology. Like all these like swooping shots, but like the textures are all like very very low because you know that was kind of like how the technology was at the time. Also, yeah, this is weird. I mean, yeah, you still see that. Also, hi, no, how's it going? How are we doing today? But you can also actually see like the frame rate being like a bit low because, like, basically they would, as far as I remember, to like do these graphics, they would have like these huge like Silicon Valley workstations, like these like big towering things that they would kind of like use to render this out and then compress them to a size where like a CD-ROM could fit it and play it. But I mean, I don't mind. I like it. It's kind of goofy, but also, you know, interesting, I guess. Also, this thing's name is Dinofly. This is also from the first game. Oh no. So I played this back in the day. I played the demo to this, or like the shareware version to this back in the day. And the reason I said that at like the top of the stream that I'm not gonna finish this, I remember how bad the controls were. Like from even back then, I still have in my mind like how annoying the controls were because this game, how to explain? Like I'm not gonna explain. I'm just gonna show you after we're done with this.
Twinsen, rush to the downtown pharmacy and find a cure for Dinofly. He's just crashed in the garden and looks injured.
Oh no! By the way, the dialogue won't skip unless I press a button. So we can just like sit here forever and just like watch. Hey, Ghost Rider, hi, how's it going? Hope you're keeping safe with like all the weather stuff. So yeah, you'd think this is like a typical isometric like adventure game of the time. However, you'll notice that I can't jump, I can't run, I can't like do much of anything other than walk around the place. And that is because the unique mechanic of this game is that in order to do anything, you need to swap stances. So you've got normal, which is your general walking around stance. You've got sporty, which allows you to run and jump. You've got aggressive, which basically allows you to punch, more or less. And you've got discreet, which I think is supposed to be like stealth. I'm not sure what like gives me that impression, to be honest. I love this so much. That sounds awful. It is awful. It's very hard to control. And all the stance specific actions are bound to the space button. So basically, if you want to jump somewhere, you need to press Control, which is the stance key, go to Sporty, align your character, press space, jump. And then just like do like whatever else. If there's like an enemy after the jump, you need to go Sporty, jump, switch to aggressive, start punching. It's like so. I don't know what like the word to like, but like the opposite to responsive is, but this is more or less it. Also, to interact with things, you have to go back to normal stance because that's the one for interacting with things. Yeah, that's me interacting with things, by the way. God. like I said, I don't think I'm gonna finish this game, but I am going to try to have as much fun as possible. Oh yeah, in normal you can also
Zoe's
speak
diary. Dear
that
diary,
too.
today I'll tell you the story of the adventure I had with Twinsen under the dictatorship of Dr. Funfrock. It was long, long ago.
Also, again,
This
I
Dr.
can't
Funfrock.
I can't stress this enough. The bad guy's name from the first one is Dr. Funfrock. Boing, boing. Oh hey, I actually fixed that. Nice. Wait, why are you using that? Uh-oh.
This portrait of Zoe is magnificent.
Also, the camera doesn't auto-center. I have to press the enter key for it to follow me. Look at that. So cool. Love it. Yeah. I mean, it's a 1997 game. Like, I can't, like, fully, like, hate on it, I guess. Because, you know, it's a product of its time. But
I really like this image of my trusty dino fly.
it's just so goofy, like, oh, I like this image of my dino fly. It's like, okay.
You just found your magic ball. When you wear your ancestral tunic, you'll be able to bounce it at your enemies.
Oh, you just found your magic ball. Oh, my brain is like very caught up
Hello?
to be listening to this.
This is the text of the ancient prophecy. It's intended for my family, in case my descendants are also called by Sendel. Hopefully, I'll never need it again. And that's all I've got left from the house that Funfrock raised.
Why are there tomatoes? Oh my, what? Why are there tomatoes
To
here?
the glory of Dr. Funfrock. Huh, this bust makes an excellent target.
You have found 3 darts.
Why is the game narrating
You
everything I
just
find?
found your holo map. To use it, look in the inventory by pressing Shift, or simply press Tab.
Yep, there's like a map. If this doesn't look particularly helpful to you, you're not the only one. Magic ball. Aw. So yeah, I guess we need to go to the pharmacy.
I'm going to see the dino fly. It just landed behind the house. Don't forget that you can change the perspective by pressing enter. Tell me, Twinsen, did you find something to cure the dino fly?
No.
I'm still looking for a cure. Don't worry, I'll find one. The collar's not working. Zoe said there's still a part she needs. She asked Baldino to make it for her.
Why is the sound so loud? I'm sure I lowered it.
Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
Just like
Could
get,
you
like-
help me treat my injured dino fly? Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
Oh, now it.
Could you help me treat my injured dino fly? Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
Deafening. Yeah, I've actually lowered it and it's still so loud. I don't get it. Like, look at this.
Could
It's
you help
it's
me
not like
treat my
a
injured
fifth
dino fly?
of what it should be.
Could you help me treat my injured?
Like, does the game not know what I'm trying to do here?
Could you help me treat my injured dino fly? Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
Did everyone get that about the dino fly? I'm not sure what he was saying.
Downtown. Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
See, now it's lowered. Like this literally changes nothing. I'm just like taking the left and right. I think it's like this is the problem at the moment. Can you like mute everything? It still plays! What? Literally doesn't matter. I muted everything and oh. Oh, it even plays here. Okay, hope you like the music. Hope you like the music because the game's all like, fuck you. You're listening to this and you're gonna like it. So what's the point of having like a music volume?
Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
God. Downtown pharmacy. At least we get like an objective marker, right?
How are you doing, dino buddy?
Oh, what a fall! I'm hurt badly. Under normal conditions, I could have taken you for a spin in the air.
I love the voice acting in this. It's so bad. There, where they fall. Wow. No, I don't think it's voiced by the same person, but let me try again.
How are you doing, dino buddy?
Oh, what a fall! I'm hurt badly. Under normal conditions, I could have taken you for a spin in the air. But this time, you will have to treat me first.
Oh no, this is so good. I'm in love with this game, like dumb music volume aside.
To the lighthouse at the end of the island. Lupinburg. Hello, Bob.
Bob? Wait, what?
Nice to see you, Twinsen. This storm really shattered my eyes. I just can't calm down. And you, don't forget that you can choose today.
How? Okay, I'm looking this up because it's very dumb. There's like literally like 10 different posts saying that like, the volume. There's actually like a Steam guide that like tells you how to lower the music. LBA2 conf file. Oh. Okay. Let me try that. Like, you're gonna be seeing my desktop for a while, unfortunately. But them's the breaks. You can't actually, like, can't actually just, like, make it... Wait, what? Make it, like, work otherwise. So we need to find the LB2 config file. Nope. And oh, there we go. Yep. Okay, I think this is it. Yeah. So now, if we... close and restart the game. It's been like a month and a half since I had to do troubleshooting live on stream. Isn't that nice? So yeah, apparently the game is like hard-coded to like have that volume. It's still loud. Wait, what? Why are they like...
Hello, Bob.
What?
Nice to see you, Twinsen.
Oh, this is like much better.
This storm really chaps my hide. I just can't calm down.
What's that voice?
Don't forget that you can change your behavior.
Hi.
Did that like... Did that even remotely sound like an elephant to anyone?
Not being from here, I find your island rather strange.
What?
I don't understand why your weather wizard does nothing about that storm. By the way, do you know that it's possible to search the garbage cans, the vases, and the closets by standing in front of them and doing action?
Oh no, what's the voice acting in this?
To the harbor.
Doing action, yeah. I love this. I love this. Like the, I hate this game, but I love it so much.
Say, Twinsen, did you ever see that trouble? They say it's a monster that lives in the cliffs above Lutenborg. If you take a walk up there, don't forget to carry a weapon. I mean your magic ball.
Your magic ball, if you know what I mean. Okay, like real talk for a moment. It's like impressive that like for a 97 game, these characters have like actions that they're doing. Like this guy's like fishing. What? Wait, what? Oh shit! Hold on, I need to punch it. Okay, I mean. Can I just pick it up? I guess I'm just like beating the shit out of crabs. Oh, what am I even playing? Like I remember this game, but I don't remember it being this weird. Or maybe I was just like too young to like fully appreciate the weirdness. Wait, did this guy pick up my coins? He did. Oh no. Can I? Oh, I'm usually gonna save. I don't like if they let you actually do this, then. Oh no! Think is there coins in their house? But no, I don't get what you mean. I don't understand where
Hello,
you're going
Mr.
with this.
Paul.
Wait, Paul? Paul the elephant?
Foul weather prevents the boats from leaving the harbor. There's nothing to do. All maritime activity is paralyzed. Let me tell you, Mr. Twinsen, only the weather wizard can set things straight.
Why why does he have like a Brooklyn accent? Oh, who did the voice acting for this? I love them. I hate them. I love them. I don't know. It's like mixed feelings.
Hi. Welcome to the Inter-Islands Ferry, Mr. Twinsen.
I say.
What can I do for you?
Just looking.
Why don't you read the posters, and if you're interested in a destination, you tell me.
Okay. Also, you know, steal your money.
When on Desert Island, visit the Temple of Boo, an eventful episode in the history of Twinsen. When on Desert Island, visit the Temple of Boo, an eventful episode
Also, you
in the
can't
history
skip
of
the
Twinsen.
dialogue once you start it. Ha ha ha. Doing.
Hello.
Welcome to the Inter-Islands Ferry, Mr. Twinsen. For 10 caches, where do you want to go?
Wait, what? For 10 caches?
I'm staying here.
So, the currency in this game is called caches? I don't even know what to say anymore.
Harbor of Citadel Island.
I don't think, like, going into this evening, I was fully prepared for, like, the amount of weird that was about to happen. Can I climb this? Nope. Also, yeah, I kind of get the music constantly playing. This was like the time where like CD-ROM kind of started picking up. It wasn't like as early as '95 where, you know, Mist happened. But
To the lighthouse at the end of the island.
it was still like a time where like people were excited to have like all that capacity available to them. So they would always do like dumb things like, you know, put like infinitely replaying music.
Hi.
I don't take anybody in the storm. I hate this weather. And why doesn't the weather wizard intervene, huh? By the way, did you notice that you could jump while you were running?
You know, I am never complaining again about how they integrated tutorials in Metal
Save
Gear
5
Solid.
caches if you want 10 magic points.
Nah, I'm not interested. Hello, Mr. Bazoo.
Welcome, Mr. Twinsen. If you'd care to purchase something, you just have to stand in front of it and do action.
Wow, the voices. Oh, the voices. This is beyond. This is great. This is this is like Christmas and like
Hello, Mr.
birthdays
Bazoo.
all at once.
If you'd care to purchase
I like
something,
I don't
you just have to stand
I don't know
in
how
front of it
often
and
you've
do
come to
action.
this stream, but If there's like one thing I love more than anything in games is bad voice acting, but not just like badly mixed or like badly written, but it's just like over the top and kind of lacking in self-awareness, if that's like the correct.
A Nitro Mecha Penguin costs 4 caches.
A Nitro Mecha Penguin. Do I even know what that
No,
is?
I'm not interested.
A Nitro Mecha Penguin costs 4
Oh, it's like the middle one. I was looking at the bunny and I was
No,
like,
I'm not
that's
interested.
not a penguin? But yeah, this is like one thing I like love more than anything in games, especially like old games, is like goofy voice acting. Not bad voice acting, just like goofy voice acting. I'm like talking about like Jill sandwich levels or gee, what's it was like House of the Dead 2, I guess, if anyone has ever played that. Like those, like that kind of tier of bad voice acting. It's like
Hey,
when
this
you
looks
say
like a
like
map.
it's so bad it's
But I
good,
can't
that
read
kind
it.
of thing. Also, why does this guy have like a
Yeah,
photo of
We have
Twinsen
a
in
very
here?
instructive map of the sewers. Before you can consult it, you must wait until I restore it. For that, I need a vial of gallic acid. Unfortunately, there's none left on the island.
Okay. Okay, it's like Twinsen's house. Wait, why is it like a fish? Can I not pick it up? Okay, guess not. I mean, okay, I know there's like a quest that we need to be doing, but you know, it's kind of fun to.
Beach Headland.
Thank you. It's kind of fun to like see like what's around this place. You know, before we start fucking everything up.
To the lighthouse at the end of the island.
Oh, someone actually got paid to voice this. To the lighthouse at the end of the.
Lighthouse at the end of the island.
You don't say. Thanks. I wouldn't have gotten it on my own.
Hi.
I don't understand why the lighthouse is closed and turned off. What could my fiancé Rev be doing? By the way, Mr. Twinsen, did you know you can jump over the rocks if you're trapped?
Oh, the tutorials. It's like I fully imagine someone that's like laying on the ground dying. It's like, oh, Fun Frog got me.
Lock.
By the way, did you know you could save your game by pressing the escape key? This is like it's an experience and a half. This I just like screw the exploration. I just like want to go talk to people, see like how many different like voices I can kind of find. This is like the vaguely Indian sounding guy, right?
Hello.
Not being from here, I find your island rather strange. I don't understand why your weather wizard does nothing about that storm. By the way, do you know that it's possible to search the
By the
garbage
way,
cans,
here's some more
the
tutorial
vases,
for you.
and the closets by standing in front of them and doing action?
I was like, find the big bad at the end of the game, and he's like, oh, I will take on the world. By the way, did you know that you can open your map with the tab key? Like, huh? Thanks. Of course. Of course, it's like a freaking bar.
Hello, Luke.
Hello, Twinsen, my friend. If you want life or magic points, you can get some from one of the vending machines on the bar.
Okay. Wait, what?
Hi.
If you go to the cellar, be... Excuse me. Be careful. I've been there my own self, just to get in a couple of snorts of the sly. Well, there's a... Excusez-moi. There's a hole smack in the middle. Yes, sir. Smack in the middle. Oh, that's foul. Yowza.
Oh, I like if I'm gonna like go to bed like a happy person tonight.
Insert 5 caches if you want to listen to a title.
Honeybee? No,
No, I'm not interested.
No. Hey, Millie Mage. Hi, how's it going? How are we doing today? This is the shit GG plays. Come on.
It's locked.
Thank you, but come on. Is that thing drunk? I like
A
presumably.
fortunate me. Back when I was charged with the power of Sendel. Hello, Tim.
Hi, Twinsen. With this storm, I got lots of customers, and I don't run with it myself.
Love this so much. This is so great. I'm like, it's like my favorite game of all time to stream.
Hi.
Hey, we need some music here!
Hi.
Hey, we need some music here!
Hello.
Howdy, kiddo. How goes it?
Wait, what? Also, did anyone see the server kind of like falling down there for a moment? On like the stairs?
Insert 5 caches if you want to listen to a title.
Also, this voice, like the narrator voice, sounds like way too sexy to be in this game.
Title number 1.
Hey, waiter.
Hello.
Cool! That music rocks, don't you think?
Why is this called Honeybee? Oh no.
It's locked.
Also, again, I'm kind of like making fun of stuff here, but the fact that like all these interactions are in here is like really good. Like, you know, NPCs calling for the waiter, like this one like came downstairs to dance. For like a 97 game, this like a 97 game, like these graphics. The interaction wasn't like this involved usually. Like mostly at least. This is like legitimately impressive stuff.
Hello.
So weird music.
Hello.
Hi.
We have a collection devoted to the great Twinsen and to the development
People make games
of
because they want
magic
to.
on the
I
planet.
mean,
Don't
I guess.
hesitate to educate yourself. The price of admission is 15 caches. Interested?
No,
but
I'm
then
not
again, you
interested.
can also get a game where like the currency is actually called caches. So, yeah. Maybe they made games because they wanted to, but maybe they didn't like stop to consider if they should. I'm just kidding. I'm having a good time. It's not like a very good game, but I'm having a good time. So, mission accomplished, I guess. Oh, please tell me like, oh, no, come back here. No, I want to see if you can speak. Dude, get over here. Oh. I guess it despawned. Shame. I was like, please let there be like a goofy like voice acting like thing. Oh. This is a school. I know, because there's kids in here.
Hi, kiddo.
Oh, hey, Twinsen. Did Did you check out my essay on the future plans? Here, and I will summarize. Phase 1, grow up. Phase 2, become a sailor. And Phase 3, buy 1,000,000 umbrellas for my brother.
I'm just not gonna go there.
Hello, little one.
Since the weather outside is horrible, the teacher said I could jump rope in the classroom. See?
Thank you for your contribution.
Hi, kiddo.
Hello, Mr. Twinsen. I'm being punished because I ate
You
a
ate a
whole
what
box
now?
of chalk.
Hi, kiddo.
Hello, Mr.
No, I'm
Twinsen.
trying to check the books.
I'm being
Stop.
punished because I ate a whole box of chalk.
Also, here's like a prediction for like anyone still watching this. You know how I'm like having like such a good time like
Hello, little
listening to
one.
like
Hi
all the
there, Mr.
dumbness
Twinsen.
that's
Listen
happening.
to our new nursery rhyme. It's Sendel which makes her nest in the heart of the planet. Sendel does her magic well, but it might make your head swell.
Hey, Jungle Rock, hi, how's it
Sendel
going? How are we
the
doing today?
prettiest.
Hi, kiddo. Yeah,
Bunbuck is a dirty beast.
it's like hi, kiddo here and like young man in SMT5.
Representation of our planet, Twinsen, in stable orbit between 2 suns. Hello, miss.
Hello, Mr. Twinsen. I'd like to take the kids to the flower circle, but the weather's just too bad.
Oh, side quest. But yeah, like you see me laughing now and like generally enjoying like how weird this whole thing is. I want you to remember this the first time I get into combat. And then the second time I get into combat. And then like watch the joy just like drain from my eyes every time I have to fight something in this game.
Hi.
Because I'm very sure this is gonna happen. Trying to think how livable is a stable planet. You mean a planet between 2 stars? It's gonna be like Indiana Jones all over again. But like, wait, which one of them? Because like we did like 4 of them, and honestly, 2 of them were just fine. Like hell, like 2 of them I actually like enjoyed. One of them was kind of eh. Oh, you're talking about Emperor's Tomb, aren't you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't really like that one to begin with. If we're being very honest.
Hello, miss. I'm looking for something to cure my injured dino fly.
Sorry, but I don't have anything for a dino fly. If you are interested in an item, stand in front of it and do action.
Do action. Not...
But I have an idea how you can help your friend.
Guessing Twinsen wouldn't have a moon? I mean, probably not.
Thief!
What? What? Oh wait, we have to chase the thief now? Or something?
Hi. Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
Here's the deal. I will tell you how to treat your dino fly if you would bring back my umbrella. Use your smarts, but remember that in life, haste makes waste.
Because the gravity would be out of whack. No! He's running off. Quick, catch him. Oh wait, hold on. Am I gonna have to do like this? Come on. By the way, this sound effect plays every single step you take while in discrete mode.
Mr. Twinsen, could you tell me why you're following me?
The umbrella, please.
But that's my... Oh, excuse me. I thought it was mine. I'm so embarrassed. I keep making a mistake.
You just found the customer's umbrella.
Why did I start going like this?
Hi.
Not again. What do you want from me now, Mr. Twinsen?
Give me my tunic back.
But, Mr. Twinsen, I assure you that I don't have your tunic. Maybe you should look at home.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hi.
Not again. What do you want from me now, Mr. Twinsen?
To knock you out.
Help!
Oh no. Also, just like I guess you do take fall damage in this game. So yeah, how many more times before this gets annoying? Like this truck. So yeah, he said something about my tunic. Although I like no idea where it is.
It's locked.
Wait, I had the key for this. How is it locked? Oh. Okay. Guess it respawned or something? Okay, I have to check. Is there like a way to rotate? Turn camera. Backspace. Okay. I mean, that's not turning though. I'm just like punning it in like different places. Also, yeah, it kind of seems like stuff respawns when you like leave a place.
Zoe is magnificent.
Well, but where's my tunic? Also, can I just mention, I love how like he does like a little like Irish jig every time he like wants to turn around. Like look at this, it's like go like this. He's like tap dancing. Okay, when you're outdoors, it does rotate the camera,
Hi.
I guess.
Could you help me treat my injured dino fly?
Here's the deal. I will tell you how to treat your dino fly if you would bring back my umbrella. Use your smarts, but remember that in life, haste makes waste.
Okay, this one.
You are so kind. Go see Carol Oak the healer on my behalf on Desert Island. I work for him, and believe me, he knows tricks that would cure anything, even a dino fly.
Okay.
For 3 caches, do you want to use the telescope?
Okay.
Like, why is everything trying to skin me in this game? Like, metaphorically, not like literally. I hope. Because that's gonna be very weird with these kinds of graphics.
To the cliffs of the Woodbridge.
Okay. Ah! What the?
cliffs of the Wood Bridge.
Oh. Oh. Well then. Platforming, my old nemesis. I mean, okay, this was... Okay, it wasn't painless, but like at least it was doable on the first try. Almost. Oh. Hello. Wait, seriously? No! Too far. Oh, never mind. That was fine. Am I in like a different game all of a sudden? Because this like visually looks nothing like the outside. Because let's go punch some butts. Looks so dumb. Oh no. Need to get to the toilet. Why were like the late 90s so weird, and why did it ever go away? Okay, I'll just assume. Ah, we can't swim. Yeah, fair enough. Blah. We did. Wait, what? What was that? Why do you have like a 4-leaf clover? No! I don't think I'm gonna get a second chance. Yeah. Like, it's like the 4-leaf clover was my extra life. What the? You know what? I'm just gonna like try it like the way that I went before. But yeah, this like visually looks nothing like the rest of the game. It's so weird. Why?
Mr. Twinsen! Free me! Quick! I'm Waff! You know, the lighthouse keeper. I've been caught by the Twallow. He wants to turn me into a muddy Melba. Please, Mr. Twinsen, go get your pitching little costume and your magic ball. Be our hero again. Come back to save me from the Twallow. I'm scared he's going to eat me.
Did this guy like escape from like a Monty Python sketch or something? Tent of the Weather Wizard, Mr. Blob's private museum. Oh boy, I have no idea what this is. Come on. Okay, how do we get there? Is like a switch or something? Nope. I don't know, like this like art style looks like a kind of like lighter version of what I would expect from like Diablo or something, you know? Not, you know, freaking Twinsen. No, don't do that again. Don't be dumb. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do platforming. Yep. I remember when I said that combat was gonna be like where the joy kind of like drained out of my face. I no longer think of that. In fact... Yep. Kind of forgot how annoying early 3D platforming used to be. Like the problem is like it's like so rigid. Ow. No. Just don't. Please don't. Wait, what? Oh. No, why? 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 No! Oh.
Access to the cliffs.
Why? Like, did anyone, like read the concept for this game and think, yep, spiders are the way to go for enemies?
Hello.
Wait, what?
Hi, Twinsen. Far as I'm
What am I talking to the cow?
The grass gets nicely thick. Makes it taste better.
Okay.
Ruins of the old citadel.
Oh no. Look at the This game's just like all over the place. This game's just wild. It's like out there, like what? Oh no.
Hi, Zed.
Twinsen, with this rain, I've found plenty of mushrooms.
Okay, buddy. Thanks. Thanks for sharing, I guess. Oh, hey, it's like a switch. Doom, doom. Doom, doom.
Don't touch that. I've tried to create an enchanted ring, and this pot must not boil. Once I get myself a pearl of incandescence, I'll be able to call the lightning.
Eh?
Diploma of Elementary Weather Magic. The wizard Bersimon has proven his talents as a master of the elements. He has reached the rank of Grand Master of Sea Winds and Tornadoes.
Okay.
Good day, Master. Master, how do you explain a storm in this season?
Well, how? Do you? Did he just like flat out ignore me?
Please, don't touch the container on the stove, okay? It contains a terrible creature. This storm, I wanted to get rid of it, but the lighthouse was closed and I can't find the keeper anywhere. Only he could help me reach the top of the building, where I have the view I need to utter a conjuration. It's the only way to stop this storm that neutralizes the island, but I need the lighthouse keeper.
But I saw the keeper. He's being held prisoner inside a cave under the cliff. I've got to get him free.
Oh, this is actually interesting. Like it does kind of like acknowledge that I went there
Good day,
first.
Master.
But that's it?
Master, how do you explain a storm in this season?
In like on second.
This storm, I wanted to get rid of it, but the lighthouse was closed and I can't find the keeper anywhere. Only he could help me reach the...
But I saw the...
Oh, hey, we can actually say, like escape. Also, this says LBA2 on it.
Green Karula Street.
Like I don't know if you can tell from the resolution. It does say LBA2. Not that it matters that much. Can I really not like rotate this? Guess not. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna get annoying really fast. Oh, hey, extra life. I think. Probably. Boing. Oh, hold on. Let me change to Oh god, there's also like something on there. See, it's like a square thingy. Which I don't know how to get to. Looks like an NPC there. Huh. And an Amazon package next to a skull. It's like they knew. Wow. This is like peak 90s. Like this game is it's all over the place. Doesn't even begin to describe it, to be honest.
Green Karula Street.
Yeah, okay, sure. See? Like, I think it was like Millimage that said this before. Like, they made the games they wanted to do. This is why they stopped letting them make the games that they wanted to do. It's like stuff like this. Yep. It's games like Little Big Adventure that made them say, no, you're not allowed to make the games you want to make anymore. so close. I got like a in my stomach there. Nope. Okay, cool. Useless after useless after useless mana potions, cause I don't actually have the capability to cast spells yet, I guess. So I have no idea what that S thing is. Also, I'm pretty sure everything resets when you leave the area, so probably the switch that I pulled is it like I need to activate it again. Doing. Doing. It means hope. What means hope? the S thing? Oh, okay. Does it? Is this like a game thing, or is that like a real world thing that I have no idea about? Because I'm pretty sure that's the same thing that comes up when you save your game. See? It's like the... Oh, this is explanation for... Come on. Ah! Oh, I haven't watched those movies. Come on. You almost had me there for a moment. I was like, what? How have I not heard of this before? No, don't go. Also, like that, the wizard has like a tiger print, like bed cover, I guess. Obviously stands for super. I mean, sure. Does it really matter at this point, to be honest? Does it really matter at this point? God, the platforming is so bad. Nah. Carrying the sliders, just joking. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. So how about that didn't sound like confrontation or anything. I'm also kind of joking. Just trying to come to terms with like having to play another 2 hours of this. Am I just like jumping at the wrong place? Or not jumping? As the case may be. Existential crisis. I mean, I don't think I'm like at that level yet. Oh, poor Gray. Okay, seriously, what did we activate? If anything. Just like literally pull the switch and... Now what? Ah, this is going great. It's like 1 hour and I've already gone like through the full spectrum of like joy, hilarity, and like despair all at once. Oh yeah, and anxiety. But that was like very, very brief. Also, nothing quite like having like a character just go every like 5 or 6 seconds. Like, although it's better than being aggressive, it goes like every 5 or 6 seconds. Oh wait, I have to move to get like the sound. Boing. Okay, I'm just gonna give the jump another try. Like, you should be able to jump this, right? And the bot says, nope. They need to run. You know, and jump. Okay, the bot needs to go. Really? Come on. Jeez. Hey, see it does have coyote time.
Hi.
What a pain, these sewers. What a stink. And I still have oodles of man covers to update. Phew. I've had it up to here.
But we're probably not gonna be able to make this jump, right? Yeah, no, not even close. Wonder if it's like something that you get later on in the game that lets you jump further. You know, stronger, harder, better, faster maybe. Wait, what? Oh. I guess I do have like a ranged attack.
Hi, kiddo.
No school for me today.
I'd love to find the trowel and do it in. Because if I make the trowel disappear, I'll become a hero, and they'll erect me a home museum.
Here's like an opinion here. When you're writing dialogue for your characters, if those characters are underage, you should not be putting the word erect anywhere in their dialogue. Like, far away. No. Like, maybe have like another 3 characters around like this character and none of them says that word. Also, I guess like grammatically it's correct, but it's like, that's not something that they would say.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. We have a collection devoted to the great Twinsen. The price of admission is...
Okay, I'll buy it.
Yay! What was the point of this? Was like the point of like visiting a museum dedicated
Hello,
to
Miss
yourself?
Bloop. Geez, the counter clerk is as smart as ever. He never recognizes me. What's more, he always charges me admission.
He's doing his job.
Excuse him. He is a nice Grobo. You know he only gives himself airs.
I want to get back my tunic and my Sendel's medallion.
You showed up at the right time. The door at the top of the stairs is jammed. We need to find a way to go upstairs to release it
The voice
and free
acting.
the bell which protects your tunic.
Yeah, how about just like no one say? That's like even better. That much better.
Hi.
Hey, you know, you look just like the guy in the picture.
Book of Boo. It allows me to speak with the animals of Twinsen.
Oh, okay. That's why we could speak to the cow, I guess.
Horn of Golly.
I mean, at least that's like an explanation.
Cross-section of Twinsen. 1. Sendel. 2. Well of Sendel. 3. Temple of Boo.
I hope this answers Millie Mage's question about the physics of the whole thing.
Rock from the Temple of Boo.
Wait, go back.
A portrait of Sendel. They must have used my descriptions to make it.
Oh, I didn't get a good look. Hold on. See, he's like all your
Cross-section
topological
of
needs.
Twinsen. 1. Sendel. 2. Well of Sendel.
Also, this is not a
3.
cross section.
Temple of Boo.
This is like a, what's it called? Like a wedge. Core something. I don't remember exactly, but a cross section would be if like it was like bisected and you could see like the whole thing.
Aha! Sendel's medallion and my ancestral tunic. Aha!
Can I
Sendel's
get them?
medallion
Also, why
and
are
my
they in
ancestral
like
tunic.
a stasis chamber? This is. Also, what's up? Am I dead? Are they? It's like a memorial to me. Like, I don't get the candles.
Personnel only.
Okay, she said the door jammed.
Ugh,
It's locked.
locked.
No. Let me
Ugh, it's locked.
punch it. Oh. You know, never mind. We're probably gonna have to sneak in through the window, right? So wait, why do I have to pay like 15 cashes to get in here? Yeah. Oh, there's like a switch here too. Na 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 na.
You have just found your ancestral tunic and Sendel's medallion. By storing magic, it will enable you to bounce the
like
ball at your enemies.
There's like a million different ways they could have made the animation for getting an item. He could just like be jumping on the spot. He could just like be doing like his hand up, but no. What we do is like, I don't know, like what, the wave? He's trying to fly or something. Also, yeah, bounce your ball at the enemies. There's like another one in the long list of things I did not expect to see today. Oh, hold on. Should actually maybe speak with her.
Hello, Miss Bloop.
Thank you for releasing the door, Twinsen. Use your tunic with wisdom. By the way, don't forget that the trajectory of your magic ball changes with your behavior.
Also, yeah, I know what they meant there, but like the trajectory of your ball changes with your behavior. Oh, that also sounds very goofy. I guess what she means, like the stance that we have, like makes the ball attack like behave differently. I guess aggressive, what like goes like faster. Nope. Discrete. Ah, okay. Discrete in discrete stance, it like goes like way like drops like way closer. But like shouldn't like go like very far with aggressive then? Oh well, let's go save the lighthouse keeper, I guess. Probably. God. Like, this probably ranks up to like the one of the like top 5 like weirdest games I've ever streamed. So let me just like save just in case. Like I don't think it's like the weirdest one. That other one is probably like Bloodnet, or like maybe that like half a stream that I did of the Texorcist. But still, it's up there. I do have the talent to find this kind of stuff.
You know, the lighthouse
I mean, this is like literally stuff I grew up with. I don't like find it. I'm just like aware of them. Although in this one's case, I only ever played like the demo or like shareware. And doubly so, to be also fair, the farther back you go in like retro games, the more like weird things become. Oh no, you know, it wasn't Bloodnet. Bloodnet was also very weird. The weirdest game I've streamed was Vangears, the top down like claymation like racing game, which I actually did keep the box here just in case. This one. I don't know if you remember it. It was the game that looked kind of like this. You know, with the made up vocabulary and like the big insects in the underground hives. Okay, how do we even do anything here? Ew. How How can I even hit anything with this? Oh, okay. Like that. So there has to be a way where we can, I don't know, get across. Because like the other guy won't let me save him until I get the amulet and the dress or the tunic, I guess. Oh, you know, maybe I need to use the ball to hit something here, like this. Nope, like this. Nope. What do I even need to do? I'm stumped. Because, yeah, like, clearly you need to save this guy, so the weather guy will stop the storm from happening. So you can go to Desert Island and get the medicine for Dinofly. It's not like I can kind of like jump around this thing either. Okay, I will say though, is like I like describing this as a talent and just, you know, not like a general lack of taste. I just like kept thinking about this talent. That has like a nice ring to it. I have talents. Not just like a very, 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 very bad taste at games. Ah.
Hi.
Mr. Twinsen! Free me! Quick! I'm Waff! You know, the lighthouse keeper!
Okay, how do I free you? Come on. I really don't get it. Oh, wait. Do I need to hit the... Hold on. Nah, it just doesn't go far enough. Maybe in aggressive? That's actually even closer. Mm-mm. Yeah, I was like kind of thinking maybe I need to kind of like hit it with the magic ball. Guess not. I mean, unless... No. Yeah, I don't know. Like there has to be something I'm missing, right? Like you need to get a key, and I guess to get a key you have to do something here. Never mind what I was talking about, like combat-wise. Never mind the platforming. It's this that's gonna like get my blood pressure up. The finicky like pixel perfect puzzles in isometric view. I was like getting punched by bats as well. That's like also. Oh, come on. It's like punching the air. Oh no. Why? Why? Developers, why? Why would you put something like this in your game? What was like the thought process behind this? You know, very rigid combat, so you know the logical thing, just like put enemies that are like unpredictable, kind of like running around and just bump into you as well. What the? Also fireballs. What the? Oh. At least it has like friendly fire, I guess. That's something. Okay. Can't get it up there. Poor Gregor. Oh, okay. So I guess you can't climb things if you really have to. Wait. What? Okay. For like a short moment there, I kind of like freaked out that I was like getting out of bounds or something. And then forced to like redo this area all over again. Okay, let's see. Maybe if I jump on these. Yes. Ah. But yeah, like getting better now. Only took me like 4 tries. It's like progress. This is how progress is made. With bloody tears and frustration. And, you know, a little part of you dying inside every time you play one of these. But that might just be me. Wait, what? Is this an enemy?
Hi there, Joe. Still having problems with your magical powers?
Joe.
No, thanks. Seems to be okay now.
Okay.
Aha! A sign from Sendel. They are venerated by all the wizards.
If he said that it symbolizes hope, I was just like gonna kick Gnome from the chat. Just like on principles. I'm just kidding. Of course. Wait, what? Am I? What am I even fighting here? It's like a jacked up like beaver that like spits poison, I guess, or something. There were like a million games from France I could have been playing. I chose this. Why did I choose this? Seriously. Actually, no, I think that like Rooks asked me to do this one. So, okay. Now I know who to blame. Cool. God. Like, seriously, I remember the controls being bad, but this is like a totally like on another level. It has to be a running jump, sure. It's just like the alignment that you have to that gets me, you know? It's very... like, the shading on Twinsen isn't, like, good enough to the point that I can reliably kind of, like, judge his, like, exact angle. At least I didn't die. God. Like, imagine falling in the water now. the moment I said that, I'm like, oh, save. Oh, here comes a boss fight. What the actual... Oh, sorry. Also, I have to say, like, the sound effect of like throwing the ball is like so weird and goofy. Oh, come on! I'm like the attack button is Alt, by the way, and I'm also pressing enter because I need the camera like centered on me, so I can like actually see what the hell it is I'm hitting. And this led me twice in a row to like Alt enter out of the game. Oh, dear God.
Thank you, Mr. Twinsen. I was rehearsing a new tune when this filthy twirloo chewed up my guitar. Besides, it looks like he's got others before me. Well, back to the lighthouse. Otherwise, I'll get in hot water.
Okay, also something other that's like I like about this, like object permanent. Wait, why is she here? Why is my pregnant
what are you doing?
girlfriend
I'm
in like
counting on
the
you to take
underground
care of the
dungeon full
Dinofly,
of butts?
And my lord is seeking adventures in the underground instead. It's beyond your control. You have to play the hero.
All right, Zoe. I'll take you back.
What? Like, was there like a page of the script that was missing there? Dear God. Also keep in mind, in order to leave these, you have to jump. Oh, oh, that was dirty. They did like a camera cut after the pit that you normally have to jump to get out of here. And I mean, at that point, if you're gonna do like a cut like that, why don't you just like cut back to them at the house?
So, Twinsen, there's a monster coming soon?
Yes, the family will soon be larger.
We're so happy, you know. It's our first, and it should come any time now.
I just bumped into the keeper who was going back to the lighthouse. He told me that a true hero had just saved him from a voracious monster.
I freed him.
Bravo! And now, if you appreciate great art, let's meet at the lighthouse. You'll see what you'll see.
You'll see what you'll see. Okay, thanks. That was very helpful. Oh, wait, that's the wizard, right? Oh, hold on. I guess I have to go with... What's your name? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem safe. Just like taking your pregnant girlfriend through a rainstorm to the lighthouse outside of town. I mean, unless you're a serial killer or something. Twinsen with Zoe. Yeah, we actually get like a new stance here. Good. Like, okay, I can kind of see why people might have like fond memories of this.
Hi.
My pretty bunny's come back, thanks to you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Twinsen.
Like 3D graphic, like we were all like kind of like easy to wow back in the day, right?
We
Like
are ready,
a game like this that had like open-ish worlds, and you know you could interact with everything, and you could jump anywhere and do all the stuff that I've been doing, even if it's kind of like hard to figure out. That's probably something that would have reviewed very well back in the day.
Follow me.
Actually, you know what? I'm like very curious to see how well this has reviewed. Presumably it's like 85 plus. Let's see. Big Adventure 2. Oh, cutscenes. I don't know, it's like Jungle Robot. Wait, what? Not Jungle Robot, sorry, Melee Mage still around. I was gonna say something about meteorology, but now there's aliens? What? Oh yeah, these guys are evil.
People from the planet Twinsen, we come to you in a spirit of peace. Thank you for this
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say Melee
storm
Mage,
which
not Jungle Robot. I was
prevented
like
us from landing.
looking at the chat.
We have observed your planet for many cycles now, and have decided to come and study your culture on the spot. We have traveled through space solely with the goal of discovering your civilization.
Wow. Not like everyone just like leaves. I mean, that's fine. Like aliens, whatever. Dime a dozen every day.
Hello.
Greetings, Twinsonian. We are your friends. We come in peace to your planet. We wish only to know you and to share our knowledge with you. Have trust in our friendship.
Hmm. I'm not finding Metacritic. I mean, it's like basically just like an old game. I don't think it would have like Metacritic. Reviews. Kind of sucks. Has like an 8.2 on like user reviews though. Which just like kind of like goes to show people have no taste. I mean, maybe they're like easily swayed by nostalgia. Yeah, just another Monday. You know, that line kind of reminds me of what's it called? Has anyone ever like in chat ever seen like what's it called? Like the Street Fighter movie? There's like a scene in that just like this where like there's like Chun-Li talking to like Bison. And she's like, "You killed my parents. I remember. It's just like it was yesterday." And then like that was like the greatest comeback ever. Like, okay, that's like the dumbest comeback ever, but it's like so corny. It's like, you might remember it as the day that I like visited your village, but to me, it was just another Tuesday. That was. I actually watched that movie when I was like 15 or something. And that line kind of stuck.
That alien jalopy's easy on the eyes, but it looks difficult to park. So, for 8 caches, where do I drop you?
Oh. Okay, it's like fast travel?
I'm staying here.
I don't like you. You stink. Boo. Okay, so I guess now we take the ferry, boat, whatever it is, and go visit the other island.
Hello.
Greetings, Twinsonian. We are your friends. We come in peace to your planet.
Yeah. You're totally evil. Like the cutscene doesn't lie. Like red eyes are like in games of this time period is like always like, you know, evil. Evil.
Hello, Mr. Paul.
You need a ticket to board the ferry, Mr. Twinsen.
Yeah, I forgot how thick of an accent this guy had.
Hi. Welcome to the Inter-Islands Ferry, Mr. Twinsen. For 10 caches, where do you want to go?
I'm staying here.
No.
Welcome to the Inter-Islands Ferry, Mr. Twinsen.
Enjoyed the Sogoban? What's Sogoban?
For 10 caches, where do you want to go?
Think I've been to that
Desert
place yet.
Island.
You have a ferry ticket.
Oh. Also, I'm gonna have words with you. This game is like significantly worse than I remember it. Weird, but you know, probably not worth the laughs.
Hello, Mr. Paul.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't been to that part yet.
To board the ferry, Mr. Twinsen.
You need a ticket to board the ferry, Mr. Twinsen. I was like, what? Brooklyn accent?
Your ticket's in order, Mr. Twinsen. You may board. Have a nice trip.
I mean, I partially joke. Like, I'm I'm amused by this. It might not be like the best game ever, and some of the things that it does kind of like hit me like right on the nerves. Much like this fish has hit Twinsen in the face. But all in all, it's amusing, I guess, at least. And really, like, out of these things, that's like all I'm asking of. Could have been worse. So the first game before 200% it. Wait, is it like a hard game to like get all the achievements? I haven't like bothered with it because I have like no like, you know, frame of reference, because I've never played this back in the day, especially like the first one.
Hi.
Why is the music like evil?
There, Mr. Twinsen.
Despite how little you actually progressed. Oh, I mean, yeah, fair enough. More aliens. What? Okay, so I have to ask. But what? Excuse me? What? Ah, yeah, it's not looking good. Oh no! What is this even? Like stun locked? That's the temporary on the first game, and the second game you always play on the initial island. Need to be careful about being stun locked. Yeah, I noticed. But on the other hand, aiming like this isn't like great either. Oh. Also, I don't think I can hit that guy from here. It's like... But yeah, okay, dodge their hits. How do I dodge their hits? Like they do like the spread thing, you like trying to dodge doesn't really work. You just like try to like cheap shot him like this. Oh, I'm out of energy. Yep. Yeah. Kind of like stuck now. I was like trying. Juke him. Nope. There's cover knight next to him, but he shoots over the cover. Look at that. He can somehow shoot above the barrels. Actually, just realized. Nope. Nope. Yeah, the like the stance you're in changes like how far and how high the ball goes. Oh boy. But it's like so finicky. Like actually getting this to... Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I guess we're doing it like this. Fuck fair play. He can stun log me, I'm not like playing fair. Or smart, but you know, that's like a different question altogether. It's like, even like the slightest tap turns me like way too much. Actually, I just realized something that I want to try. Yeah, wail on him. Come on, punching bug. Punching bug. Doesn't seem to be dealing damage in this case. Oh, okay, that was like better then. That's like, you know, deal some pain. Yep. Or not. Stun locked! I'm dead. Boing. Ah, there we go. This game is so good. No, it's not. Yeah, I know you can like skip enemies if you want to, but
hello.
Like I
Hello.
don't.
These
I don't want to.
strangers are pretty strange. They have this whole collection of carnival costumes that range from cacti to garbage cans. They seem to enjoy it. I keep seeing them in disguise.
Oh, okay. Yay. It's like almost dead.
To the Hacienda del Monte Pelado.
To the what now?
Hi.
Hello. My dear sir, my goods are only available to fully licensed wizards.
Wow. The demo. Yeah, the demo did have like spells, but I guess you don't get them yet. In like the full
Hello.
game.
Hello. I often go to see the healing wizard for my back. I have a sore back from time to time.
I happen to be looking for him.
I'm no spring chicken anymore, you know. And the back, it's important when you bowl.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Mr. Twinsen. Everybody talks about these guys from outer space. They say they landed on several islands, but that should not interrupt our game.
Hello.
Greetings, Twinsonian. We are your friend.
Yeah, you have trust in our friendship, etc., etc. Garbage can enemies, and so on and so forth.
Hi.
Good day, sir. Welcome to my shop. Stand in front of the article of
Yeah. We know.
for 15 catches.
Okay by me.
Wait, you pay like 15 only for 10 life? Boo.
the lore and 4 different sentient races. By the way, if you ever get to play this on Steam, at least, just be aware that you're gonna have to fiddle with the configuration file, because you weren't here for the start of the stream. At the very start, you're not actually, like, you can change the music volume, but it doesn't affect the in-game volume for like whatever reason. So you have to go edit that separately from the configuration file, because it's like way too loud by default.
Hey, Jerome.
Hello, Twinsen. In spite of my powerful telescope, I saw only a couple of flying saucers pass behind the moon. The Esmers must live on the hidden side. Here's the part that Zoe needs for your car.
Jerome Baldino just gave you a part that Zoe needs to fix the car.
Oh, like this animation's never gonna get old.
Hello? Twinsen, did you find the healing wizard?
No, not yet.
Oh God, why do you knock? It's like, not yet. Not too hard, as long as you know what you're supposed to be doing. Was it like a speedrun achievement? Oh no! No! Those can just like go die in a fire for like, if you like ask me. Oh, there's like a thing there. There's like a thing there. Must have it. I just like save. No! Again. Nope. No. Come on, I jumped. There was like the jump sound. What? That's like the jump sound. I'm jumping and then like the game decides that I need to drown instead. You know what? Fuck it. That thing probably not important. It was like it went just like through the 5 stages of grief in like 3 seconds. Ah! Oh. Well.
Oh, hi, Twinsen. If you want to take a little sea trip, jump on my back.
Of course. Ah! Oh, poor Gregor. Why am I even doing this? Oh, wait, is that like an extra life container or something? Because like I can actually see like below my magic there's like 3 instead of 2 that was like before. If you know what you're doing, the speedruns are 1/8 of the time. But yeah, but speedrunning as in like you get like a time limitation in which to finish the game. Not speed like okay, like speedrun but like glitchless speedruns. There's like just do everything in the game like very precisely. Which I don't like. Because like it inevitably leads to one of two things. You either go like check a video online so that you're like able to do it on time, or you have to like replay a
I
game.
don't know what Jerome's cooking up, but there's a demonic machine under there.
Machine. Okay. So yeah, it either leads to you like kind of like spoiling yourself, like checking like a video or something, so that you can probably like do it on like the first try, or you have to replay the game, and you know it might be one of those games that don't really like merit replaying. Like Braid has a speedrunning achievement.
Hi.
Hi, Twinsen. If you want to see Moya the turtle, you might find her at the Small Oasis or on the other side of the harbor. To call her, just ring the bell.
Would you recommend trying it on your first? Yeah, see, so that's exactly what I mean. You either like need to like play it like a second, to do like a second playthrough just for the speedrun, and I don't like doing like second playthrough just for like one thing.
I enjoy wandering in the desert. Once, in the Temple of Boo, I found lots of little treasures.
If you know what I mean. So yeah, like I don't know. These doesn't seem like the kinds of games that I would want to do like a second time. So yeah, I don't like it when there's like an achievement that kind of like tells me do that. Also, see, I don't like stuff that makes you grind more than you have to. So, for example, Final Fantasy has that, where like literally like Final Fantasy VIII has an achievement for killing 10,000 enemies, and on a typical playthrough where you don't really skip enemies or anything, you would kill about 1,000-ish. And now you might say like, yeah, okay, maybe just like play it a bunch of times, but the thing is, it doesn't stack, which means you can't really like do it over like 10 different like playthroughs. You have to do it all in one playthrough, which means you end up spending like 20 or 30 odd hours just like killing things just to like get like one meaningless bar to fill up a bunch. And after a certain point, you don't even get like an in-game benefit for that anymore. Yeah, I mean, you know that, but there's like, hopefully there's like people that I haven't bored to death yet that don't. I was like generally speaking here about like stuff that I dislike when they're being done in games. Is that the case for 9? Wait, no, 9 also has like a big grind. What? Ow! No! Punch the dog! Punch the dog! Punch the dog! Punch the dog! It stacks through playthroughs. Yeah, but still, it's like way more than you would do in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, like playthroughs. Literally have 3 of 10,000 by killing the first guy 3 times. I mean, yeah, see? That's kind of like the thing. It doesn't add anything to the game. Achievements should add enjoyment to the game, not like a chore. If it's something that like, oh, the stars represent the damage you take and deal, so like no stars, no damage. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, if you're like putting achievements in your game, you should like aim to have them so that like they increase like the enjoyment. So kind of like hint at stuff that the player might do that like they wouldn't otherwise know that they are doing. Or you know, kind of like reward them for kind of like doing something dumb or smart or like both. You know, that kind of thing. He's gonna start shooting me, isn't he? Yep. Yep. Lovely.
Hello.
Hi! These strangers sure are cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. This Turkish bath is
Turkish
too hot
bath.
for me. Sometimes it's so hot.
Hi.
Okay. No. Dear God, why is there like a Turkish bath on like another planet?
Hello.
Howdy. Phew, it's hot, but it feels so wonderful.
Masher? Help!
Hello.
Well, what have you learned?
What have I learned? I don't know. What have I learned?
Hello.
Well, what have you learned?
Can still have Turks. I mean, I don't know. Like, you can have the aesthetic, but don't name it like a Turkish bath. Like, have like a made-up, like in-universe name.
Hi.
Hello to you, Twinsen. For some time now, I've been...
Yeah, okay. Inexplicable findings.
Do you want to use the telescope for 2 caches?
I'm not
Cautious.
interested.
Do you want to use the telescope for 2 caches?
Okay by me.
Oh. Now I know the secret. I could have just like rotated the camera and still like seen it. Literally wasting my money now. Oh, wait, what? am I speedrunning now? Nope. But I am probably about to die.
Hello.
Hello? Well, this climate promotes the growth of this carnivorous yellow flower.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
My master often goes to get sand roses.
Okay. Like actually very invested in finding the wizard now.
To the Temple of Boo.
Boo. Oh, hey. How did I miss this? It's like an entire temple in the middle of the island. Oh no, it's locked. I think. Wait, is that an enemy?
Hi.
Hey, Twinsen! It's me, Joe! I don't feel too good. Could you do something for me?
Hi.
Hey,
Hello.
Oh my god. No. Okay. I guess maybe later. Huh? What?
Hello.
It's been 2 months since I enrolled in this blasted school, and I've not been able to pass a single test.
And what am I even doing in this game? Wait, what? Oh, these are enemies. Okay. And this is a maze. No. Why? Okay, I can't actually hit them with the ball, I guess. Or punch them. Cool. Oh, this is torture. It feels like I kind of just got my the living daylights beat out of me. Also, it feels like I should be able to jump on the table. Just literally land right into the projector. Yeah, but there was like 50 of them. I mean, yeah, I probably didn't outrun it. I just stun locked my way through. I rush into that one. It's like so many of them though. How am I like meant to keep track? Oh dear God. Gord. Was it? What?
Hello! Allow me to introduce the Grand Rector of the School of Magic.
Welcome, Twinsen. I'd be honored to have you study with us.
What?
But even though you once said
Why is there like
farewell,
a
you'll still have
Playboy
to pass
bunny
the
there? Like
test
a literal
the others.
Playboy bunny. Oh.
Do you wish to join our school?
I'd like to treat my dino fly first.
You'll obtain the power to heal by passing one of the tests of wizardry. But first you have to enroll. Upon graduation, you get an additional level of magic.
Wow.
Inscription fee is 120 caches. Are you ready to start right away?
I'm not interested.
Go look at the Temple of Boo. They're discussing an old treasure still buried there.
Wait, isn't this the Temple of Boo? You only have like 45. What was going on with this him? I know you saved the word. Yeah, I...
Ah, only the wizards are able to read this.
I kind of want to make this my new alert sound.
Only the wizards are able to read this.
Like, imagine getting a follow when this comes up. How puzzled was like that new person gonna be? Temple of have tried to get some initial stuff in the first one. I mean, yeah, for what it's worth, like it seems like the entirety of this game is like very much like, you know, like the first game but bigger. Honestly, yeah, like I'm very sad to say my prediction that like I wouldn't last like a second stream into this game is kind of like getting there. It's also underground, at least in the first one. But oh dear God. It's just like way too junky of a game to like keep streaming, to be honest. Like between this and having to spam enter to just like recenter the camera so that like Twinsen doesn't like run off into the distance. It's just And you know, like the constant stand locking also probably not that great.
Hi.
Oh, that's you. Hi. I am a little worried, you know. Since he left, Wizard Carrowoak has not sent any sign of life. You can borrow this vial. I don't think Master Carrowoak has much use for it.
You just found a flask of gallic acid. It's often used to restore ancient documents.
Okay. Oh, that's what the guy on the other island needs. So now what? Like, I just like run around trying to grind to get like 120 caches? What am I even playing anymore? Can I just like rob this store or something?
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Hey,
Visitors are
welcome.
extraordinary. They are supposed to come from the Emerald Moon. Would you believe that?
Why is this guy Italian in like what's like clearly like a Middle Eastern themed village? Hey! It's like, no.
Hi.
Now that the clouds are gone, I can finally enjoy our twin sunshine. You know, I heard there's an oasis in the desert where there's this giant turtle. I'd love to go there.
Hey Tuma, hi, how's it going? How are we doing today? What kind of junk is this? This is 1997 junk. It's like the kind only a French mind of the time could have produced. It's made by this was made by a French studio called Adeline. I think you can get both sounds. Oh, come on! First Millimage and now you like trying to like discuss the astronomy of this place, I guess. But yeah, this is like an action adventure platform exploration with minor RPG elements game. A bit of everything, basically. Again, 97. They did weird things back then. Also, this is something I didn't know before, like, looking into this game. Apparently, this was a runner-up to, like, Monkey Island 3, as far as, like adventure game of the year. And, like, I now that I've played this, my only reaction is, no. Like, they shouldn't be mentioning those games in like the same sentence, to be honest. Like Monkey Island 3 wasn't like the best in the series even, but like compared to this, it was like a freaking like once in a century masterpiece. I'm sorry, but yeah. Potentially glorious and infuriating. Oh, okay. I guess that's what you mean by glorious. Temple Park. Okay.
Hello.
A ticket, mister. For only 7 cashes, you can visit all Temple Park, including the inside of the Temple of Boo.
Boo.
Okay by me.
Thanks. Like, remember, I'm supposed to be saving money, right?
With all these gate crashers, I don't know which way to turn.
What?
Hello.
Would you like to see that? And try some dark shooting. Ah, yes, the price is 4 quattro catches.
Italian again. Why?
You have found 3 darts.
Oh, wait. I have to... Oh, I have to hit the ducks. Okay. It is not that hard, I guess. No.
Bravo, sir! You won this magnifico balloon.
No! That's like offensively Italian. Stop! Wait, what? No! Wait, what? Seriously? That's how I'm gonna make money for the... For like Hogwarts, I guess? I'm just like gonna need to... Yeah, I guess this is how you make money for enrolling in like the Magic Academy, I guess. And then you get like...
Magnificent.
Yeah.
Bravo. Hello.
There's like many big word expressions using fully 3D. I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Hello. This temple is absolutely
However,
extraordinary. I wonder what we'll see
I
afterwards.
can name at least... What? Hold on. Like Arena, Daggerfall. Let's see how many open world games that were like fully 3D. Well, fully 3D, I guess this isn't like fully 3D. Like the indoors are all like pre-rendered. So kind of like depends. Let's see if we can see in like 96 and 97 what came out. Give me a moment. Just like bring it up. Yeah. So Mario 64 came out in 96. That's like 1. Yeah, but Daggerfall isn't like fully 3D, so that's why I stopped like partway through that. Because it's like 3D terrain, but with like 2D sprites for like everything else. But yeah, Super Mario 64 was fully 3D. So wait, what was like the parameters? Open world and not an RPG, I guess. More like adventure based. And PC. Okay. Let's see. I know Glover came out on PC, but I'm not actually sure if it's like 98 or 99. I mean, the Neverhood came out in 96, and while it wasn't like true 3D, it was like claymation, which kind of like had the 3D look, and at the time people wouldn't really know. I'm just like looking at the list here. And again, to be fair, PC games weren't like that, you know, common at the time yet. Like the PC explosion kind of happened like a couple of years later. But yeah, sure. Let's see. Fire Emblem. Oh, it's like a. Yay! There's actually one in. There's like one in Wikipedia with like all the. What's it called? There's like a list by platform. First games from 1994. Yeah, but like the first one wasn't 3D, right? It was like all isometric. Like I'm pretty sure like the 3D open world was like what this game did. That was better than its like previous one. Let's see, top rated games. Like top rated games. I don't know. Critically acclaimed titles. I mean, I guess like Quake came out in '96, and okay, it was an open world, but it was like kind of, you know, revolutionary for at least like as far as like 3D games went. Tomb Raider as well came out in '96, and that had like a PC port as well. Just like going through the list here, Descent 2 was kind of like, well, it wasn't like open world, but it was relatively open-ended, especially like the later games. So the first case was restricted because here you'll be at one able. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Let's see. Panzer Dragoon? Nah. Let's go to 97 then. Don't know if you can go between the two at will. I've not played this. I wouldn't know.
Hey, mister, my daddy, he's smart. He was able
But
to
yeah,
get
like
us
Final
50
Fantasy VII came out in 97, and that had a PC port as well. So, you know. Right, target identified. Wait, what? No, no, go back. What are we talking about again?
Hi.
Twitch? Yeah, I don't... Oh, you mean what, like Melee Mage went live or something? Is that the right target identified thing? But the Final Fantasy VII came out on the PC this year. Like there was like a PC port of Final Fantasy VII. Dungeon Keeper as well was kind of like unique with like the whole like 3D thing. Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, which had like some pretty open world levels. Fallout, okay, wasn't 3D. MDK. Total Annihilation doesn't really count. But yeah, there were like a lot of, you know, games that kind of, you know, competed with this on like looks at least.
You'll have to board a vacant cart. Watch out during the visit. Stay on.
Yeah. What's up with like the dramatic music? No! No! Come on! Well, yeah, but like also like the openness, like the games that I describe aren't like as open world as this, or at least like it's not actually like open world, because like the actual islands are quite small. But maybe like the word we're looking for is like non-linear, right? And in that case, you're probably right, but I don't think that's a good thing about this game. Tank controls would get you hanged. I mean, not in 97. That was like the time like still like Resident Evil was making a killing, and like the guys that made this also made like what's it called, like Alone in the Dark, which also had tank controls, and well, there's like probably like a few more that had these kinds of controls. Oh wait, am I meant to be hitting the thingy to like redirect the train? I was in the 90s. Well, yeah, again, it might have aged poorly, but like my point here is more that, oh god. Like, it's not like the tank controls that are the problem in this. Because you can have tank controls and make them be very, very accurate, or at least structure the game around the tank controls so that you hide like how inaccurate they are. Like in this, like I can't remember the game now, but there are like a few games that did this, and the way they did this is by like only allowing you to like phase one of like 4 directions. In essence, kind of like making it sort of grid based, but not really. So if that had been done here, so that like you could kind of like align your character better for like puzzles and for like tagging and stuff like that, then it would have been like much better. Oh, there we go. We can actually hit this if we really try and really cry. It's like so annoying. Ah! Oh, I hit it. Wait, no, I hit it. Okay. Woo. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I have to like rotate this so that we go down and then like keep going down. Wonder if you can actually get those mushrooms. I mean, probably, but like jumping mechanics being what they are, I'm gonna have like such a hard time getting back on the cart without, you know, dying, that I'd much rather not even try. Like, I don't need to. I've got like enough money for what's it called, like Hogwarts, I guess. So I can just like chill out on this and kind of like coast it all the way to like wherever it is that I'm meant to be going. Actually, I think the biggest problem is that it rotates your character along with the cart, to be honest. Has some probably turn your ball to make it grab stuff. I don't know. I don't remember from the demo being able to do that. But then again, demos back then, even though they were like more sizable than nowadays, they still didn't like contain that much in the way of god damn it. No! Back we go. Oh, never mind. I mean, I guess in theory you can probably just like run after the cart, but I'm pretty sure that the doors close really fast once the cart... Yeah, see? It's like I probably wouldn't be able to do that, but like what I was thinking about. Okay, let's see. Nope. Let's not do it. Let's not screw things up. Yep. Also, how the hell am I keeping my balance on this? Like, seriously. What was the point of this even? Like, okay. Was it just to get like a... I don't know. Is there like a point to like all this maze? Or maybe the point was that I was actually supposed to get the mushrooms while I was, you know, running around. I don't know. Like, what were they thinking with this game? Who knows? Who can tell? What is life even? Like, okay, if I... In the cutscene, like, the tracks kept, like, getting demolished after Twinsen. So, if I just, like, do the same, you know, circuit, does that mean that, like, the... Am I gonna get the cutscene again, or... Of course. You see, like, it's like getting destroyed behind you. Yeah, that's the temple. Yeah, I know, but, like, you don't actually get to the temple. You just, like, roller coaster around it and that's it. Oh, you know, maybe I need to get off before I get into the last door. Because there's, like, a little path there. Nothing on the side. Oh, third time's a charm, I guess. If I don't, like, throw up. It's like, I'm pretty sure this guy gonna give birth anytime soon. It's like... Yeah, but if I switch to normal, then I can't jump when I want to get off. Normal is like the least useful one, because like the only thing that normal does is like it lets you interact with things, and basically you can also interact with things in the other stances. So normal stance is basically useless, right? Unless there's like some kind of, you know, ability that Oh, come on! Come on! Guess we need to speak with this guy.
Hi. Oh, hello, Mr. Twinsen. What an honor to see you here.
So yeah, see, there's like another track there, but it's kind of like blocked
The
off.
access to the lower floors is temporarily prohibited. We can no longer assure the safety of the visitors. The Esmes have volunteered to do the work in the lowest basement. It's not I who will complain.
Okay. So we basically can't really get... Oh! Wow. Yeah, we can't get to the temple yet. Can I just like open the doors without the freaking cart, or... Oh! Okay, good. I can just like escape for now. I mean, I guess you're probably meant to come here later? Maybe? The first game you actually had to use normal for most stuff. But yeah, I haven't played the first one though. And like in this one you can actually have like a use key regardless of let's see, it was like use. Yeah, there we go. Talk and search, you can actually have that mapped on like a separate key. So I can just like be in athletic mode, I guess. And you know, run around fast enough. Being able to interact while being normal was an improvement for the second game. Wait, while not being in normal, you mean?
Another tourist minibus?
Well.
Man, that Temple of Boo really packs them in.
Yeah, without being on normal. Yeah, I got that. But yeah, it's like this whole like stance system is so annoying. Like having to like constantly swap between like 4 different stances is not like fun. Especially since like the one that's like for combat is also like very, very slow. But like it probably shouldn't have been. It's like generally so cumbersome. Also, I don't like I don't think anyone in chat will like know what I'm talking about here. But you know what this game reminds me of? Like graphically, there was like an old kind of like horror-ish game called Ecstatica. I don't know, has like anyone ever played that in chat? Or they just like dream it up from like back in the day. When we were like young and dumb and stuff looked like way more exciting than it actually is. But it was like a game called Ecstatica, and like it was kind of like a medieval themed like horror thing, but not like really horror, kind of like horror-ish. Oh god, am I gonna have to do the sneak thing again? This is dumb. Oh. Never mind. I can just like skip it the first time around. But yeah. It was a kind of like horror-ish game. Not really like horror, but it was intended to be horror, even though in essence it was more kind of funny because of how they did like a lot of the things in the game. So basically it was kind of like a medieval themed like Alone in the Dark Resident Evil-ish affair. Kind of like reminded me of this because of like the tank controls for one, and because they didn't want to like get like the polygonal look that most like early 3D games did at the time. They instead like chose to render the characters in like ellipses, so it's like just like oval shapes. So everything kind of looked like Twinsen's head, like everyone's like hands were like a series of like elongated oval shapes. The head was like an egg more or less. The torso was like another egg. The pelvis was like another egg, and like basically it gave like everything's like very funny, kind of like rounded look. Like actually, you know what? Since I am capturing the desktop here, it might be like a good idea to hold on, see if I can like show it. Okay, let's see. Ecstatica. There we go. This is like from 1994, by the way. And let's see. Go like this. Oh, the graphics are kind of, damn it, not really good. Isn't like another like playthrough that's like higher resolution? Like this. Nope. Was the game like this? I don't remember. Like Ecstatica 2. Like a bit better. Yeah, see like what, like how the characters look like? This is a this is like this game, like instead of like everyone being made by like polygons, are done by like ellipses. So like everyone's like kind of like elongated kind of like bowls. And like let's see if you can like check it out. And yeah, it was like all done on like pre-rendered backgrounds, but they also were like made by mostly kind of like rounded shapes instead of like square, like triangle shapes. In fact, I think like the only angular thing in the game is like the UI. So yeah, like Little Big Adventure 2 reminds me a lot of this. In like the aesthetic, and like this one also has like preset camera angles, so it's not exactly like Little Big Adventure. It's also kind of like more of like a hack and slash horror thing, but it's like such a dumb game. Like, look at this. Like, does this look like anything that like you would like be afraid of, or like horror? Because like all these like corpses and stuff, and you know, people like kind of like being tortured, and spider webs and so on and so forth, and then like literally it all looks like it's made out of like Play-Doh, which is amusing. Okay, we've heard like enough of Twinsen like getting a workout.
Hello!
Hello!
Allow me to introduce the Grand Rector.
But it was different to
of
see
the
stuff before we
School
had what we have
of
now.
Magic.
Yes, but specifically Ecstatica, even back then it looked weird. I'm not talking about like me from 2022 thinking it's weird. I'm talking about me from 1998 or like 1996 thinking that this is weird. Because that was like the time that the PlayStation came out, so we already had like some kind of like baseline on how like early 3D should look, and stuff like Little Big Adventure and Ecstatica and like maybe a handful of others were like the exception to the rule. It wasn't just like 2D and this was like the very fresh 3D. Like we had like Quake in 96 that had like chunky polygonal based character models and geometry. We had again Mario 64. We had Crash Bandicoot. We had I remember other things. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like I didn't say it's bad. I said it's weird.
Do you wish to join our school?
Don't take
I'd
that
like to
like
treat
out
my
of
dino fly
you know
first.
context.
You'll obtain the power to heal.
Like I said,
by
it looks
passing
weird.
of
This
the
one
tests
handles
of
weird as well.
wizardry. But first you have to enroll.
Yeah.
Inscription fee is 100.
Okay by me.
You are now a member of our school.
Yay, I'm now poor again.
To become a wizard, you must
Well,
first
wizard.
pass 3 tests, in any order you wish. You can bring me the result of each test at your leisure, but I will give you your wizard's diploma and your new level of magic only after you succeed in all 3 tests.
There goes all my money. Why?
Once you pass through this door...
Okay, fast and accurate, sure. Are the other 2 wizards to tell me the test? I don't know. What the? Oh. Oh. Okay. Really? So maybe there's like a... There's like a... I need to like keep it like pressed, and it will like... There's like a timing, like if I keep it pressed, it will like hit all of them. Nope. Nope. Ah. So I think I got like the timing down, but not exactly. There's like a little delay between being like able to shoot it and... There we go. Yeah, there's like a tiny little delay that doesn't let you just like keep it pressed and like keep like throwing it one after the other.
Bravo, Twinsen. You have earned this blowgun.
It's blowgun. What?
Rapid shots.
I'm in like a wizard school. Why am I getting a blowgun as a result?
You now have a
As
blowgun. It fires darts fast and accurately.
That's a straw. It's like one of those straws that you put in milkshakes.
You still have 2 tests. For the test of the balsam, you'll have to fetch me a balsam. It's a rare plant which grows in the desert. For the test of the slate, you must first go to the island called the Dome of the Slate, a stone's throw away from Citadel Island.
Yeah.
You can bring me the result of each test at your leisure, but I will give you your wizard's diploma and your new level of magic.
You know what annoys me the most here? Sending me out of this area means I'm gonna have to get the key a 3rd time. Everything? I mean, okay, no, it's not everything. Like, honestly, like, so far so standard for like late 90s fetch quests. Like, a lot of games used to do this just to kind of like stretch their like game time a little bit more, so that you could go like 40 hours of gameplay on the box. But what annoys me is that I'm gonna have to do the little thing where you get the key from the trap room again, like a 3rd time. And all because in this game, keys do not have permanence. Keys are like items that, like, once you leave a room, they despawn and you have to get them again. And I don't get why they did this. It's probably like engine limitations. They probably couldn't like keep in memory or like all the keys that you're gonna get. It's like easier to make them like drops or something. But at the moment where you have this, where you can store like values for like health and mana and revives and money and keys and stuff, why do you like reset it once you're out? I don't get that. No, no, camera. Murdered by a trash can. GG. But yeah, I mean, this was kind of fun while it lasted, but I don't think I'm gonna do a second stream of it, to be honest. I did enjoy the... Well, I did enjoy the voice acting, most of everything. Like, the scope of this is pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Because like all I've said, like it's still kind of impressive how they had like these kind of open-ish worlds. But yeah, controls, the whole thing with the like behaviors or moods or whatever isn't great. The fact like that you can very very easily get stun locked into game over, not fun. How finicky the platforming is, also not fun. So yeah, I don't know, like I wouldn't probably recommend this to someone, but it is interesting to see like where like gaming could have gone if this had took off. Had taken off, sorry. Or at least like in France. Because like here's the fun thing. I'm playing this game and like above everything else, do you know what I'm like reminded of? As far as like the quirkiness and the general aesthetics. This game seems like a very very early alpha, or at least like a very very early kind of like half-baked idea of what would eventually turn out to be Beyond Good and Evil, which for me up to this day is like probably one of the best games that Ubisoft ever put out. It was Ubisoft, wasn't it? I want to say it's like Ubisoft before they became like the Ubisoft from like nowadays. It's like Beyond Good and Evil. Yeah, developed and published by Ubisoft. So yeah, like a lot of like the quirkiness and like, you know, the kind of wait, what? Wait, if you stay in the menu for too long, it goes to demo. So I've just like pressed the escape button. If I stay here for too long, it goes to demo. Which is what? How? Why? Yeah, I mean, kind of poetic, but again, like it has like a lot of those elements, and like generally I think it's like this is like, well, without being like too exposed to it, but it feels like something that's very common in like the French kind of fantasy DNA, I guess. There's like this like whole element of anthropomorphic animals, like here's like rabbit people and elephant people and stuff like that. There's like the kind of like spunky like protagonist that saves the world, though, you know, through, you know, exploration and combat and like action and like all of those, like the amalgamation of like all those different things. There's like this whole kind of like multicultural aspect where like everyone in this game has like a different accent, and there's like an island that's kind of like Middle Eastern in like appearance, and there's like another one that has like everyone has like American accents, and there's like wizards and spaceships, and you know, it's like a big wonderful hodgepodge of like different ideas that don't like necessarily work all together. And this is, again, it reminds me a lot of Beyond Good and Evil. It also reminds me a lot of like another like property like that's French that I kind of like enjoy, which is like Valerian, and was like Laureline, I think, which kind of like a sci-fi comic book series, basically. Like you can see it in like
Cheater!
What? What was that? What was that yell? Did it say cheater? Like they accidentally like put in like a code or something? Okay. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Like what? What did I do? Like I'm not seeing anything new. Like I didn't get like a new item or like anything. What? I was like sitting here. I wasn't like doing anything other than like speaking incessantly. But yeah, like he's like the thing. That's like to me from like the little like bit of like French kind of like creative output that I've seen seems to be like very common. Because like again, you've got this. You've got Beyond Good and Evil that I can remember of. You've got like The Fifth Element, which is like Luc Besson's kind of, masterpiece, I guess. Which, they kind of like took like the whole sci-fi thing and like mashed it into like multicultural weirdness. Yeah, I don't know. Is it like a thing with like generally like kind of like French sci-fi or like French kind of like fantasy that kind of like goes in that direction? Because I kind of like it, to be honest. Like I really...
Cheater!
It said cheater again. What? Now I'm just confused. But yeah, anyway. It is something that I'm like very fond of, and I can't really hate this game. Although again, it is very annoying that you have to sit through these controls and like that kind of like design to kind of like enjoy the weird stuff. I'm dead. Game over. Guess I'm not a cheater anymore. But yeah, I think this is... Oop. Hello. Where's my webcam thing? It's like, this is it for today, honestly. I'm not gonna play this anymore. I mean, kind of a shame I had to buy it specifically for the stream if I'm not gonna finish it, but 3 hours were more than enough. I mean, I did have fun, but like I can see where this game is going for me, and that is it's gonna get like slowly, like progressively more and more annoying, and I'm not gonna be enjoying it by the end. So I'm just like, I'd rather like stop here where I'm still having fun with it, or like some kind of fun with it, and just like cut my losses, I guess. While we're like still ahead. So yeah. Next week, I'm not actually sure what I'm gonna be doing, cause I'm still need to stream like Tuesday to Thursday, and I guess if I can't figure anything else out, it's probably gonna be like something like Warframe, or maybe just like go back and pick something else instead. But yeah, I'm not actually sure what I want to do the rest of this week, and I'm not even sure like what country we should be doing next week. No ideas. I mean, well, some ideas, but depends. Like for now, I'm probably just not. I'm just gonna take it easy, just like stream a bit of fun little things here and there. I don't know. Maybe we can do... Let's see what I have on my Steam currently. In my like recently played games. Might as well just like keep one of those up. I mean, yeah, some Warframe might be nice. Could try getting back into Deep Rock, although I don't really see that happening either, to be honest. Could try some Dead Cell now that it has like the new update. But yeah, maybe like next week it's gonna, like next month, it's gonna be like Polish games. I'm not actually sure if I can find 4 of them, but that aren't The Witcher. but I can look. I'm like taking ideas on Discord if anyone wants to share them. As usual, you can join through there. Cyberpunk. Honestly, I don't think I could stream Cyberpunk with my PC. Like I'm like on the fence if I could even run it on my PC, let alone with like a what's it called, with like a streaming software also running, because like XSplit at the moment, while it's encoding, it's taking up to like 35 to maybe 40% of my CPU for encoding and rendering. So I don't have like a very good PC to begin with, and I think I'm barely clearing like the minimum requirements for Cyberpunk. So that's probably not gonna happen. I mean, like last week, the council, I had to just like drop it down like medium to just like get it to not, you know, play at half speed. But yeah, I mean, like I'm like more or less done for today. Let's see, like Polish game developers. Let's see what's like what do you have for like Poland? Video game companies in Poland. Let's see. 11-bit. Wait, 11-bit Studios is Polish? Okay. Flying Wild Hog. Those guys I knew. They're the guys that made like Hard Reset. I could probably like stream Shadow Warrior. Right? Yeah, Shadow Warrior might be interesting. Or just like Hard Reset, because I've not done like the redux of that. Let's see. Anomaly Warzone Earth. Oh, this War of Mine is Polish. Frostpunk is Polish. Frostpunk is Polish. Hey, we can actually do that. I've been meaning to play that. Wait, Painkiller is Polish? Oh yeah, People Can Fly. That's right. Right. Well, I mean, technically I could also do Bulletstorm, which is quite fun. Yeah, you could actually do Bulletstorm. Although I don't want to do Bulletstorm because of Gearbox. Fuck them. Rambo the video game. I think that's like enough. Okay. Layers of Fear was made by Bloober team, who are the people that also did Observer, another game that I haven't played. So either Layers of Fear or Observer could be one Polish game. What's it called? I was just like talking about this. Shadow Warrior should be another one. Frostpunk would be like the third one. And we just need one more. That isn't made by these three people. Studios, sorry. Guess. Oh, wait, Techland is Polish? I thought they were Ukrainian. Huh. Okay. Guess I could do like Dying Light? Wait, House Flipper is Polish? Nah. It's not Polish, is it? Is it? Wait, seriously, is it Polish? Store page. Wait, Empyrean. Who are these people? Empyrean Games. Okay. Let's see. About us. Blah, 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 blah. Contact us by email. Doesn't really say where like where they're from. Oh, Krakow. Okay, so yeah, they are Polish as well. Okay, fair enough. No. There we go. You can find their website here. And like if you go to the contact page, their main office is in Krakow. So yeah, it's like Poland. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like want to play this off stream. To be honest, I don't like these kinds of games for streams. To be honest. But yeah, like Techland, like I could like start Dying Light, or just like one of like the older Call of Juarez games if I have them. I'm not sure. I've finished the second one, but I don't think I've ever finished the first one. Or no, I don't want Dead Island. It has co-op in it, and I would not want to start something that I need to do co-op to finish. But yeah, okay. So we've got like Layers of Fear. We've got Frostpunk. We've got what was the other one? Like People Can Fly. Jesus. Teon. Like I would like prefer to get one of these more titles for backup. But yeah, again, I would prefer to have something that I already own. I don't want to like keep buying things just for like the stream, especially when I have like 1,300 games to play. God. No, Book of Demons is Polish. What? I have that. I have that. Hey, we can get that. This isometric like hack and slash. I'm probably only gonna stream it once, but you know, still might be interesting. 202 Steam achievements. Dear God. It was like the lowest one. I mean, I always like look at the one that no one like unlocked. Just kind of like get a feel of how hard the game is gonna be. Gain all the bronze level achievements in Book of Demons, silver, gold. Finish a big free play game on massacre difficulty without any form of no. Hatred is Polish too. No, I don't want to play Hatred though. Fuck that game. It's like literally like just like doing things just for the attention of it. So no. Tate Multimedia is a Polish video game developer. Oh. Cow the Kangaroo. I mean, I could try that. Yeah, but this War of Mine is made by the same people that made Frostpunk, so I kind of want to limit it into like one per developer as well if I can help it. So because I want to do Frostpunk, I'm not going to do this War of Mine as well. I mean, yeah, like Pain. Do I have any of the Painkiller games? Kind of a wonder. I do. Got like 2 of them. I've got Painkiller Black Edition. Hey, we could do that. Yeah. I could do that. So, Painkiller, Frostpunk, Layers of Fear, and jeez, haven't actually opened all of the like game, all of like the studios in this list. It's like Creative Forge. That reminds me. Oh, they're the guys that made Phantom Doctrine. I have that on Switch. No, I'm not gonna do Book of Demons. I saw the achievements and like no. No. Not while I still need to do Torchlight 1 and 2. However, I have Phantom Doctrine on the Switch, and that's made by Polish studio Creative Forge. So there you have it. So never? Probably never. Thank you for reminding me, by the way. Okay. Also, what's it called? Polish studios seem to be very big on FPSs because there's like People Can Fly, Flying Hog, Flying Wild Hog, whatever it is. Like Painkiller, Hard Reset, Bulletstorm. Apparently, People Can Fly also worked on like the Gears of War port for PC. Outriders was worked on by People Can Fly. Techland is basically only doing first-person shooters, like the Call of Juarez and the Dying Light one, Sniper Ghost Warrior. See, like first-person shooters. It's like first-person shooters all the way around. So yeah, I don't think they're just like on like, you know, management games only. That's kind of interesting though. I remember like especially People Can Fly, not People Can Fly, the other one, the Flying Hog studio, the ones that made Hard Reset. They were apparently like very, very good at like making like graphics engines as well. And Techland as well is kind of like, you know, all of their games run like on custom engines, as far as I remember at least. But yeah, we can do Painkiller Black, Frostpunk, Layers of Fear, and Phantom Doctrine, which is a nice spread of genres, a nice spread of like more recent games, and they're all kind of like either short-ish, so I can like realistically at least like finish a couple of them in like a week. Layers of Fear probably gonna be finished in like a couple of streams because like a short horror game. Frostpunk, I don't think you can finish. Well, finish. It's like one of those like, you know, play one more game kind of like roguelite / management games. Painkiller probably takes around like 10 or so hours. I'd assume 10 to 15 hours. And Phantom Doctrine is probably going to be like the biggest one. It's kind of like an XCOM-ish turn-based squad thingy thing. With Finland's an option. It is, but not next month. I'm committed now to getting the Polish month in, because it's like such a nice like selection of games, right? There's like a little bit of everything. There's like horror, there's like strategy, there's like roguelite, there's like FPS. Like what more do you want? Like in like 1 month. It's like four different games, and like one of them is like from 2004, I want to say, Painkiller. Frostpunk is like 2019. Layers of Fear is like 2016. Phantom Doctrine is like, again, 2019, I guess. So it's like kind of like more recent, but not too recent so that like my PC won't be able to run it while streaming. So yeah, that's like, I'm actually very happy about this. Thank you for the idea. For Finland, I've got other things. I'm got like a few things. Like for example, like for Finland, for starters, I would love to do the third Trine game, which I haven't done. That's made by like a Finnish studio. I had like a couple more noted somewhere, but I don't remember. But yeah, I've like finished the first 2 Trine games. I would love to like play the third one. And apparently like a short one as well. So, you know, more stuff that I finish, the better. But yeah, that's like for next month. That's like for March. For now, just like Polish month is fine. So tomorrow's probably going to be something random. I don't know. Like depends on what I feel like doing. Maybe some Warframe. I don't know like what else I have installed. That's kind of like a one-off thing. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. It's like a bunch of different things that I kind of like want to try out. Maybe I could try just like doing like one more like Dungeons of Dreadmore run. Like the last time I played this was like 5 years ago. Dead Cells might be one. Gee, I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually by tomorrow. But it's kind of getting late. It's kind of also getting cold. I wonder what the temperature is like. Temperature at the moment is 4 degrees, and it says that it's about to rain. Nice. Well, guess I'm turning the AC on again. Hope you enjoyed this. That concludes month 1 for now, since I'm not gonna finish Little Big Adventure 2. Yeah, have a lovely rest of the evening. And since Rook's kind of clued me into this, probably like raid Millimage. I assume he's like online torturing himself with Final Fantasy 15 again. Yeah, so let's go say hi to Millimage. And yeah, we'll talk tomorrow with something completely different. Until then, have a great evening, and thank you for kind of like enduring this with me. And I'll see you around soon. Bye bye.